There's a version of my life that plays in my head sometimes. In that version, I wake up in the morning and I don't check my bank balance. Not because I'm careless, not because I don't track anything, but because I don't have to. There's enough. There's margin. There's abundance that isn't reckless and isn't wasteful. It's just steady. And when I picture that version of life, I notice something interesting. The emotion that disappears isn't stress, it's impatience. Hi, I'm JP, and I think the hardest part of growth isn't discipline. It's not sacrifice. It's not even consistency. It's not being there yet. I've realized that when impatience hits, I don't necessarily make bad decisions. I don't go out and overspend. I don't throw structure out the window. Instead, I do something quieter. I mentally fast forward. I imagine the version of life where we're fully financially free, where investments are doing the heavy lifting, where the house is paid, where checking balances is optional, not necessary. And for a moment, it feels good. It feels like relief. But then reality snaps back in, and I'm still here, still building, still tracking, still planning, still saying no sometimes. And that gap between imagination and reality creates friction. Here's what makes this complicated. I am grateful, deeply. We are not in survival mode anymore. We are not scrambling at the end of the month. We are not making decisions out of panic. And I don't take that lightly. But gratitude does not erase ambition, and ambition does not erase impatience. You can be thankful for where you are and still wish you were further. That tension is real, and pretending it doesn't exist doesn't make it go away. The problem with mentally fast-forwarding life is that it makes the present feel smaller. When I live in the future version of financial freedom, today feels like a delay, like a waiting room, like something I just need to get through before the real life begins. But that thinking is dangerous, because the build phase is not a delay. It is the life. If I'm constantly trying to skip ahead, I miss the strength that's being formed right now. Patience is being formed right now. Discipline is being formed right now. Trust is being formed right now. And if I rush past this season mentally, I rob it of its value. There's something emotionally heavy about the phrase, not yet. Not broke, not stuck, not struggling, just not yet. Not fully free, not fully relaxed, not fully arrived. Not yet requires endurance. It requires you to keep showing up even when the breakthrough isn't visible. It requires you to keep building systems even when they feel repetitive. It requires you to keep believing that steady growth compounds, even when it feels slow. And that's harder than dramatic change. Impatience can masquerade as drive. It can sound like, I just want to improve faster. It can feel like, I'm hungry for more. But underneath that hunger is often discomfort with waiting. Waiting exposes you. It forces you to sit in process instead of outcome. It forces you to measure progress in discipline instead of dramatic milestones. And sometimes I have to ask myself, is this drive? Or is this discomfort with the pace of growth? That question matters, because growth that is forced often becomes fragile. Growth that is steady becomes sustainable. There's another layer to this. Trusting timing does not mean coasting. It doesn't mean losing ambition. It doesn't mean becoming complacent. It means doing the work today without demanding that tomorrow arrive faster. We are still saving, still building, still planning, still refining, but we're not trying to leap 3 years ahead emotionally. And that shift changes everything. When I stop demanding that the future hurry up, I can focus fully on what today requires. And today usually requires something simple: consistency. When I picture never checking balances again, what I'm really picturing is peace, security, calm. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Peace is not only found at the destination, it can exist during the build. Security is not only found in abundance, it is also found in discipline. Calm is not only found when numbers are large, it can exist when systems are strong. If I delay peace until I arrive, I miss the peace available now. And that's a mistake. The build phase is not a placeholder. It is not a lesser version of life. It is not something to rush through. It is where identity is formed. It is where habits become automatic. It is where resilience is tested quietly. If I can learn to live fully here, not half here and half in the future, then when freedom comes, it will feel earned, not rushed. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the discipline of waiting is part of the freedom itself. If you've ever caught yourself mentally fast-forwarding to the version of life where everything feels easier, you're not alone. Impatience doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It means you care. But growth isn't about escaping the present. It's about mastering it. The hardest part of growth isn't sacrifice. It isn't budgeting. It isn't saying no. It's accepting that you're not there yet and still showing up fully today. I'm JP, and I'll see you in the next one.